Hello everyone. So I'm gonna cover CloudWatch Log Events today. And that's a little bit different from CloudWatch Events, and I'll explain. Let's go to the docs. Under docs, there's events, and there's a CloudWatch event, and there's a CloudWatch Log Event. So CloudWatch event, what that is there's a bunch of things that happen in your AWS account, and those things are reported as CloudWatch events. So that's like a lot of different events. It could be like stopping an instance, it could be opening up a security group, all sorts of things, okay? That's different from what we're going to cover today, CloudWatch Log Events. CloudWatch Log Events is more focused. It's just basically all the events of your log. So when you write to a CloudWatch log, that actually registers an event too that you can listen to and fire off a Lambda function. So that's what we're doing here in this case. And the example here is showing you right now how to declare it. You just go log event. Then you define an existing CloudWatch log group. This needs to exist. And then we're going to go call this Lambda function report where we puts out the event, the raw event, and then a log event. And yeah. So I want to explain the difference between log event and event log because a lot of data comes into CloudWatch. A lot of people usually write a decent amount of data to logs. So because of that, what AWS CloudWatch does is they compress the data, they base 64 encode it, and then also change it to a JSON string. So they do a couple things to it, and then you have the data in this format. So that data is not understandable. So there's this log event helper that basically first it decodes it, then it unzips it, and then it loads the JSON string. So then you have a hash structure in Ruby there. So that's a pretty useful helper method. Okay, so I think that's enough. I think we're ready to get going on the example. Okay, so here's the example project. I already built it, but we're going to just go ahead and rebuild this whole thing because it's not that much code there. So you'll see. Okay, let's go to our terminal now and go Jets new demo mode job. Okay, so just new demo mode job. What does that do? It generates a skeleton project, a very light type of skeleton project, a job mode project, which is basically only give us really this. And that's all we really need for this actually project. And then we're going to create a new file, a job here. We're going to call it logjob.rb. Now we're going to go grab some code out of this example project. It's not log code, 7 lines of code. Oh, missed it. Okay, so we got the code, and there's the log event declaration. This is an existing group, right? Our existing log group. So we actually have to go create that log group. Because right now, I think I don't have that many log groups created. Let's see. I'm just looking CloudWatch logs now. So here's CloudWatch logs. I only have a CloudTrail default log here. So I actually have to create that log group. So I can create that log group here. But what I'm just do is actually create a Lambda function and invoke it, okay? So that should create the CloudWatch group. Actually, that's the only way I can create this CloudWatch log group because it's a reserved CloudWatch log group. It's under /AWS/Lambda. So let's go create a Lambda function now called hello, and that should create this CloudWatch log group after we call it. So I just went to the create function here. I create hello. I'm going to specify Ruby 2.5. I covered this in another video. So if you want, you can watch that video. But I'm just going to kind of breeze through right here. Existing row, I'm going to look for hello. There's the hello world. Hello row. That's going to give it permission to write the CloudWatch logs essentially. And then now I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not going to test it yet because I'm going to actually add a put statement so we write something to the logs. Or else, guess what? There's nothing to kind of check and verify there. So we're going to go put hello world. Okay. So that should write to the log, and then we should be able to find it when we kind of kick the whole process off. So save this. We can go configure test event because it's our first event ever, and then we just hit test. Let's name it test and hit test. So what that does is that should create the log group, and there's even a link here. So I just click on that link, and that should show the log group here. Here, AWS Lambda hello. So now we have a log group. Let's go ahead and click it here so you can see it there too. Okay, now we can deploy because now we have the log group in place. If the log group is not in place, and the deploy is not going to work because it's going to say, oh, it can't find the log group. Okay, so that's why I went and did all that. Okay, now we can see we are in the project. We just start the deploy. Okay, we're starting the deploy now. And you can see it's only really one file here, one line of code, just for demonstration purposes. But we're gonna, once this deploy is done, we're gonna check on the event and the log event. So the deploy is going to take a little time, so I'm going to pause the video so you guys don't have to wait for this. Okay, so the deploy has finished. So now we could test this. Let's actually first confirm the Lambda function was created. Let's go back here to functions. And you can see demo here, log job report. So that function was created. Okay, and now what we want to do to test that function is actually invoke this hello function again, right? That's going to trigger writing to CloudWatch logs, and then that's going to also trigger this Lambda function here because it's listening to the log group. So here's the test. That should have written the logs right here, hello world. Okay. Now we go back here and refresh this, and that should have a log group here, log job report. So we click on that, and then we can see here the request has started, it hasn't finished yet. So we'll just refresh a couple times, and then the data should come in. There, the data came in now, and you can see that the data came in kind of like, I guess it came in twice. I don't think it came in twice. I guess it's previous data that was sent. Okay, so here is here, and then there's hello world. That's our data there. And then there's also the other logs that AWS Lambda itself writes. But you can see that it kind of comes in this kind of format. And that's why that log event helper is very useful, because it extracted the data out for you. Now, I do want to cover one more thing before the end of this. I want to cover filters a little bit. So there is usually a lot of logs or data being sent to logs. So it'd be wise to filter it, or else you're going to call a lot of Lambda functions when you're using this. And then that's going to exhaust your free tier pretty quickly. Like there's easily log files out there that are over a million lines of log files, or a million lines. So I would suggest using a log filter. The example here does not use a log filter. Basically, it just uses a blank string, which is going to allow listen to all the log lines. But with log filters, you could filter down the line and narrow the scope, so that way you don't kind of trigger so many Lambda functions. And depending on your log file format, you could have different filter expressions. So you could do a regular text filter if your logs are in plain text. And if your logs are actually, each item in the log is a JSON formatted payload, then you could actually use JSON path-based filtering. So I'm going to show you that really quickly and briefly, but the documentation is there for this. So here's like filters and patterns, and see, you could just do, I guess I click on this filter and pattern, and you can see that like you just use regular CloudWatch like filtering, which is actually has different abilities like filters and pattern matching. And then you can also, if you kind of scroll down here, you can say, hey, if your log data is in JSON, then you could basically use all the even more powerful JSON filtering patterns. So that's pretty cool, and that's pretty handy if you're going to use CloudWatch Log Events here. So that's pretty much it. That covers CloudWatch Events and how it works with Jets. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It encourages more content like this, and share it with your friends, please. Also, if you want to watch more future videos like this, just subscribe to this channel. If you find this whole Jets project interesting here, just go to the GitHub and give it a star. I would really, really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. You guys have a great rest of the day. Cheers.